G'day guys, Jason Ninja. We're here for a workout today. We're going to give Ninja a functional core workout. I don't know why you're drinking a cocoa. This might all come back up. So yeah, if you guys are keen to work out like we do, we've got a Fundamentals of Fitness course which builds you up from the ground up. So that's an 8-week program that'll take you from teardrops to glory, won't it, Ninja? Yeah, so it's got sprints and it's got lifts and it's got all our functional core sort of stuff that we do here. But if you're more advanced than that, we've also got our advanced training program, which is how we run our lift clubs and train ourselves. So today we've got about 8 exercises to go through for your core. So these are functional core exercises, not your classic sit-ups and crunches and cycles. All right, so we're starting with a plank, Ninja. So with the plank, I'll do a few cues for Ninja, and then I might join in with him. So with our plank, we want to make sure that we're setting up and our spine is nice and neutral. And then from here, we're sucking our belly button in, so drawing away from the ground. And then once he's set this position, then he's going to start to inhale and breathe. So inhale through his nose, and then as he exhales out his mouth, come down here, Leo. He's trying to make sure that he keeps his belly button pulled in that whole time. So he's not letting his abs relax and push out like this. So it's inhale, abs come in. And then as he's exhaling, he's maintaining that tension in his core. So it's teaching us to create stability in our core, not using our lower back and other compensatory areas that when we transfer into other exercises that we're going through in this program, you can actually use your core properly. Have a quick rest there, Ninja, and we might do one together. All right? So Ninja has a bit of a rest. So we're setting up here, lifting up, find our neutral spine. If you don't know where you are, make sure you have a mirror to your side. Once you've found your spot, then we want to start the breathing. So we inhale through the nose, draw the abs in, and then it's a slow exhale out the mouth. All the air, and we keep pulling the abs in. Then you inhale again, and exhale out the mouth. And have a quick rest. So you might think a core is quite basic and say, oh, I can plank for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it is. But if you're doing this properly, it should be 20 to 30 seconds. Your core should be on fire. And the main thing is that we're going to move on and move past the plank. Like the plank is a good baseline exercise to teach us that stability, but then we want to actually be able to coordinate our core to propel us through movements. All right, so the next one we're going to is a Copenhagen plank. So we're going to work more of our obliques, and it's a bit more challenging. So what we're going to do, we're going to do it both together, Ninja. Yeah, we're going to be
looking at each other's eyes.
Yeah, that's it. Make sure we're really close here and we're bonded. So we've got our ankle on the bench there. So we're coming up into a side plank to start with, and then you're going to lift your bottom knee off the ground, and we can reach forward or reach up in the air. All right, and we're just holding here. So pulling down through this top leg, pushing up through our core and our obliques. It's a real good one to challenge your core. We're just going to hold for 3, 2, 1, rest. Quick changeovers, Ninja.
I want to be like Jace.
So this is a good one because again it's teaching us core stability, but we're adding in also some hip stability as well, some activation through our adductors. All right, so we're coming up, so we've pulled down through the bench, and then once we're set through the core here, we're up. All right, so we're locking in nice and strong and stable through the shoulder, strong and stable through the core. Nice and controlled breathing, holding there. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. So Copenhagen planks, so you can do them for time. You can aim for 20 seconds, 10 seconds, depending on where you're at, or you can do it for breaths as well. So you can get up and do a certain number of breaths like we do with the plank. All right, so now we're going to transition into some more dynamic type movements. So first of all, we're going to go with a cable rotation. So this is a great exercise to follow on from our plank because we start off teaching us how to, if you come to the side, Leo, we need to replicate that same posture. We don't want to start to go into this anterior tilt where we're starting to use our lower back. So we're keeping our pelvis neutral. We're finding that same posture we do with the plank. And then from here, we're going to start to rotate through our body and wrap around. All right, and then we're coming back slow. So again, creating that stability through the core as we're resisting that weight, and then we're going to rip through and rotate. So we're building up tension, stabilizing through the core, and then we're using our core to pull us through. All right, so we're not just pulling with the arms like this, where we're not actually moving through our core and our thoracic spine there. So we want to actually rotate through, and then on the way back, it's super slow, making sure that our core is what is stabilizing, not our arms, not really gripping hard and going into postures like this. All right, so Ninja, jump on there so we can sort of talk you through. Oh, geez, he's gone flying. Bit of comedy there from Ninja. He's a good one, isn't he? So he rips through, and then he's back nice and slow. So really slow, and we want Ninja to focus on dialing in, using his core. I reckon come around the front, Leo, so we can see what his abs are doing there. Rips through. So what we're doing here, as he's coming back, he's really drawing the abs in. It's that same thing we're doing with the plank, and you can start to see as Ninja rips through, and then when he's coming back, you can start to see this diagonal patterning through his body, which is our fascial slings that are connecting our body together and creating movement. So this is why we want to start to add in rotation in our core workout, so that we're getting that core to wind up and then pull us back through.
One more.
Good, Ninja, one more. That's it. So rotation is such a key thing in movement and having a strong functional core and a strong functional body. So that's why we're adding that exercise, and that's why it's in this progression as well, because we've built up that stability from the core, from the planking, from the Copenhagen planks, and then we start to add in some dynamic movement with our rotation. All right, let's move on to a sit-up throw. Sit-up throw. So Ninja's starting to create some tension here with his core, and then he's going to fling his legs through, and he's going to throw the ball from behind his head. All right, let's go, Ninja. He's lost it all in one motion. So throw from there. That's it. All right, so we're teaching our body to use our core to pull up here. So his abs are pulling him through. So it's a more advanced version than just doing a sit-up, all right? So he's pulling through, he's getting some momentum, but he still wants to use his core to pull through and use his arms. So the reason we're doing this exercise is because then we're going to move into a slam with a dead ball, which is the same movement, but just moved it into a standing position. You can commentate for now, Nin.
All right, yep.
All right, you take over. You tell them why you're laughing so much.
It was making farting noises, wasn't it?
So we're throwing from behind our head. So here, I'm creating tension with my body. My core starts to pull me through, and I throw. All right, so I'm not just using momentum. There's a little bit there, but then my abs pull through from there. So the legs come through, and then it's abs, pull through the arms. All right, so wind up, abs pull through as you throw. All right, so that's the sit-up throw. Let's transition straight into the dead ball slam, which is right here for you, Ninja. All right, so show them how you do a slam, Ninja.
All right.
So yeah, as I was mentioning, the reason we do that, so nice and slow, if you go up into this top position, Ninja, so we're replicating that same position almost. So he's lengthening his abs, the ball's above his head, and now he's got to use his core to pull himself through and go through that slam pattern. Okay, so it's replicating that sit-up up to the top, and his abs are pulling him through like this. All right, that's it, really
Statue
good.
at the bottom.
Up and statue at the bottom. So he's
And that hip hinge.
opening up through the core, closing through his back chain, and then his abs are closing and his back's lengthening. So again, our fascial slings, we're opening through this front line, closing through the front line. All right, so here it is. So the arms come up, we create that good tension in our core, and then that pulls us back through, just like it did with the sit-up throw. Good tension in the core, abs pull through. So I'm really feeling it from my abs coming through here and slamming like that. We're not just randomly going up and doing this where we've got no consistency through our body and no tension through our body. So we're creating good tension and we throw. All right, so there's the slam. Let's move on to the next one. Throws. So we've got a med ball, Ninja's got a live ball. So this is again using our core to dynamically rotate and create force. So we're winding up here. So we're not just throwing like this with the arms, we're rotating through our ribs, creating that good tension in our core, and then we throw and catch. All right, so wind up, even almost like a golf swing. You rotate into this hip, and then we're throwing throughout the arm. So the core is really key in this, all right? So we're making sure that we're using our abs. Throw through, not just throwing with our arms. So create that tension and throw. All right, while Ninja's going here, I'll have a bit of a look. So you keep going, Ninja, yep. So he's winding up and throwing out the arm. So this one requires a bit more. He's got to actually absorb the force as the ball's coming back a bit quicker. The med ball gives him a bit more time as we come around the front here, even going a bit closer, I reckon. You need to really challenge yourself. So if you just step in closer to the wall, so he's got to recoil and absorb. So your core has to stabilise as the ball's coming back through. Good, and even if you slow it down, you can really see the wind-up patterns that he's creating there, and that throws through. Good, Ninja, have a rest. Good work. So this is now starting to create power through our core. So yes, the cable rotations are starting to create that strength and that stability, but now we're creating power. All right, so that's what we want to do with our training. We want to build it up so we're not just doing the same patterns. All right, so we're going through strength, going through stability, we're going through power. All right, so that's the 3 keys of training. Let's go on to the Torsoinator. That's the Torsoinator. So we've got our pivot bar. So we're starting to the side here, again, rotating through our ribs. So the arms come up and then we rotate through the torso and go to the other side. So nice and controlled. So we rip it up and then we control the second half. Really making sure that we're using our abs here, not just using our arms. All right, so rip up and over. And this is a really good one for developing good strength and stability and power through your core, especially if you're a contact sport athlete or something that's training where you've got to have a lot of stability through your core. This is a great exercise where you can train that as well. Here you go, Ninja. So yeah, it's really teaching you to absorb forces if someone's trying to tackle you or you've got a weight that you have to resist coming through. It's teaching your core to have that strength and stability. So you can either do light weight and do it for power and really explosive movement, or you can do it for strength and really start to challenge yourself that way. All right, couple more, Ninja. Rip it up. Good. Last one. Good. And we'll go straight into the last one, which is a hanging knee tuck. So if you come around the front, Leo, Ninja will face the camera. So here, we're going to hang and then bring our knees up towards our chest, and then we're slowly going to lower back down. So we're controlling through our core and our abs. So squeeze up and then slowly back down. So we're teaching a bit of control through our abs. So we're contracting the abs, but then we're teaching them to slowly stabilize our whole body so that we're not just swinging around like this. This is going to be really good to help if you're someone that's trying to increase your pull-ups or increase any sort of strength where you need to have your abs really strong. So we're controlling through there. This also helps control your pelvic tilt as well. So you're using our abs here, and then abs are really slowly lengthening but keeping control there. All right, there it is, guys. There's how you functionally train your abs. All right, so as I mentioned, we've got workout programs. So if you want to work out like us, we've got our Fundamentals of Fitness or our Advanced Training Program. Click the links below or come in and have an in-person session with us. Thanks, guys. See ya. Session.